Hello and welcome to SGN Tech Forum. So today in this video our topic is email security for public emails. I'm not talking about corporate email. So if you are employed, your employer has some sort of like corporate email and they are pretty well secured. But in this video we are going to talk about the public email security. And one of the most famous public email we all use is probably Gmail. There are a few others as well. But today in this video we are going to talk about Gmail as a platform. So as you can see that if you're using a social media, right, any instant messenger kind of thing, they claim that end-to-end conversations are encrypted. That means what you are sending to the receiver, nobody can intercept because they use encryption and security. So chats are very informal, right? But we have greater reliance on email because email is ubiquitous. You use a lot of personal and confidential information you send as an attachment, or you write some personal things via email. But you need to understand these are not inherently very secure. Contrary to that, chats are secure nowadays, but email still not very secured. And it happened that I needed to send some data information to a service provider, not internet service provider, just a service provider. And he asked me that send me over the email or email attachment because I don't have a secure box link. That time it clicked my mind that this is not secure, right? So what I can do to secure my emails? And that's where I came across a couple of blogs, and the links for those blogs are mentioned in my post, and you can find in my video also. So in this video, I'm going to give you a concise overview how I secured my email, and so you can do yourself. So basically, the platform we need to secure email and then different pieces of it. So we are going to use PGP, which is an open source encryption mechanism, and the name is like quite interesting, pretty good privacy. Yeah. So we are going to use PGP for encryption and key management. And if you are not aware of all these terms like encryption, security, don't worry about that. I'm just going to show you how to secure email and you can follow along. Okay. But for informed reader, what it does, encryption is very popular and it's an open source technology. It's very old one, but still quite strong, very strong. Okay. What it can do, it allow you to send a coded message to someone without having to share the code beforehand. So you really don't need to like exchange a key beforehand. Without key exchange, you can send a coded message or encrypted message. It relies on public key encryption. So again, if you're not aware of like public key PKI infrastructure, public key encryption, we'll discuss that later in the blog. It relies on public key encryption to enable users to send secure messages without need to prior introduction. So you don't need to like know the recipient, or don't need to meet them in person. You can still send a coded message and make sure that it reaches the intended recipient, and an intended recipient can also make sure that it comes from you, so it can do some sort of integrity check in terms of digital signature. Okay. And so that's this part. So whether message is authenticate or it's been tampered, this digital signature. On top of this, PGP can encrypt. So PGP is not just email security, and that's why I'm using this in my demo. So PGP can help you to secure your files and hard drives and all those things. So this is a wonderful key management platform. You need not to use PGP to secure email, because the next tool what we are going to talk about, it has a encryption or key management inbuilt, but I want to decouple them, so I am using PGP. Where and how you can download PGP? You can download PGP from here. Okay, I think this blog need to be edited. Okay, so gpgtools.org. From here you can download. Now once you download, if you're on Mac or Windows, download the relevant version and then just run the PGP program. Once you run the PGP program, you can generate your a key pair. And what information you need your email as well as a secret passphrase, like which can be used to generate your key pair. All right. So let's talk about the next component, which is encryption extension. So for email security, these encryption extensions are mandatory. GPG was optional, but these are mandatory. So what are the encryption extension available today? These are browser extension, Mailvelop and Flowcrypt. They are like two most popular extension for public email security, not just Gmail, for public email security. Here we are going to choose Flowcrypt because Flowcrypt can do some additional, but you are welcome to use whichever you want. Okay, but for demo purposes, we are going to use Flowcrypt. So what we are going to do with Flowcrypt is we are going to go to Flowcrypt site, download the extension for our browser, Chrome, Firefox, whatever you are using. And in this video, we are going to use Chrome. Okay. Once you download the extension, you are going to import that. We are going to import that key, GPG key, what we generated previously in Flowcrypt. Okay. So we will bring our own key, but you can obviously generate the key from Flowcrypt itself. And later, so this is just a note, sometime when you start using Flowcrypt and you don't know where is your key is stored, so I put a note that if you are a Flowcrypt user, this is where you have to go to access your key. So you're going to go to Flowcrypt setting, additional setting, and find your key. I'll show you in video. For other people, your Flowcrypt key will be available at this link. So flowcrypt.com, pub directory, and your email address, whatever email address you use to be a user of Flowcrypt, right? So basically, if you are using Flowcrypt, other people are using something, so there is a web of trust, right? So your key will be uploaded to a trusted server, and their key will be available for a trusted server, so that the public key is available for everyone to use even without exchanging. So that is why that is what we call web of trust or public key infrastructure. So if we go to this link and get started. So for demo, let's go to demo. What we need GPG, which is not mandatory, but we will use GPG as for our key management. Then we need Gmail account for demonstration purpose. I need two Gmail account, one as a sender, one as a receiver, and then Flowcrypt extension for that browser. Some related blogs which help me secure my email. They are very good read. I have mentioned the link here, so feel free to go and understand a bit more on that, because it's no point like I explain you the same thing again. GPG security, if you go to GPG tools, it will identify your OS and you can download. So I'm on Mac, that's why I downloaded the Mac one. All right, so let's work with GPG first and then come back to Flowcrypt. So once you download your GPG, this is what happens. So one of the key for SDN Tech Forum at gmail.com, this one already have imported the key, but let's generate a new key for our sender account. So SDN Tech Forum is going to be receiver, and we have a demo account created, which we will use as a sender. All right, so you're going to put a password and so this is basically the passphrase what you want to use. Okay, so please remember this. And if your password doesn't match, it's going to give you a warning. Okay. Is matching. This is my demo account security, and I'm using RSA with 4095. That is the longest key, and then you can set expiry. Okay, let's create a key. It says that you're going to take a minute, and you feel free to stretch your legs. Okay, upload public key. That's what we discussed, right? So now if you want users to find you and send you a secure email, you need to upload this key to the Web of Trust. So I'm okay with that. Let me go ahead and upload it. All right. So within that, what you need to understand is one more piece. So if you click on the demo account and say details, okay, let me bring it here. What I want to look at you is fingerprint, right? So obviously Web of Trust is there. You don't need to share your key with anyone, but you can very well publish this fingerprint openly to everyone, that this is my fingerprint. If you want to send me a secure message, when you use a public key, please make sure this is the fingerprint, right? So this is additional layer of security. And how to calculate this fingerprint, here it is showing directly, but if you're interested in seeing a public key and show you how to generate a fingerprint, you can very well go to your, pardon me, and -L-F and say id rsa.pub, and it will generate a public key fingerprint for you, and this fingerprint you can very well share with anybody. Okay, so now we have a key available. So let's go and use this key to encrypt our emails, and for that what we need a email extension. All right, now so we have key generated and saved locally, and you know the fingerprint. Let's go to the second piece, which is browser extension for Flowcrypt. So you're going to go to flowcrypt.com and say for Chrome, get Chrome extension. It is going to say give you the extension. We can say add to Chrome, and it will give you a warning that it can read and other things, right? All these sites. So just the information. Obviously Flowcrypt need to read and modify your data because it's going to encrypt your data. So that is like pretty implicit, but it's good that it's give you a warning, so you are aware what it's going to do. So I'm going to say add extension. Now it's checking, and Flowcrypt is installed. To start using Flowcrypt, enter this extension browser and then click on Flowcrypt button. That's here. So there are two, extension. All my extensions are here. You can see this is the icon for Flowcrypt, and I'm going to use this. Okay, click on this button. It's very well step by step. Then set up your Flowcrypt account. Continue with Gmail. I have a couple of Gmail accounts. I'm going to choose the SDN Tech Forum one here, and you provide your username, password. And if you want to see what I'm going to do is I selected my email, I'm entering my password and click on next. Verify your email address and setting, manage draft and send email. Okay. We are going to say allow, because obviously we want this to give all the access. New encryption key, import private key, right? So you can, if you are not a GPG user, you can generate a new encryption key, but what we are going to do, we are going to bring your own PGP key. Load from a file, yes, and I have not downloaded my PGP yet, so let me do that. SDN Tech Forum, we are going to see exports and public key via, so let's export it to my download. Already exists, but let's replace this. All right, so you have this exported to local, and now let's go back to Flowcrypt, where it is asking you for the key. I'm going to say paste and load. Go to download. Not able to read this key. Make sure it's a valid PGP private key. Sorry, so it's asking for a private key here. So give me 1 second. Okay, so since we are using PGP, we are going to load from a file, and when you click load from a file, you can see that I have to upload my private key, and for that let's go back to PGP again. But if you guys are just starting, you can very well live with Flowcrypt only. You don't need to have a PGP account, right? So let's go back to our PGP and import the public and private key, and then we are going to upload it to Flowcrypt. SDN Tech Forum, I'm going to say export and include secret key in the exported file, and then I'll say save. It will ask me the passphrase, what I use to generate this key. Okay, key exported. Let's go back and see if now we can load it on Flowcrypt. One more time. Downloaded, secret, open. Yes, so you can see this is my private key block. I really don't want to. Passphrase, submit corresponding carefully. Okay, here also you have to give a passphrase. So as you can see, there are a little bit of extra layer of work you have to do to interop between PGP and Flowcrypt. But if your purpose is solely to secure email, you can live with Flowcrypt and its key generation. Since I'm using PGP for other purposes, I'm trying to incorporate them, and I don't want it to remember the passphrase. All right, say save. Now we are all set. Set compose your email. All right, so it's going to log in you to that, and you can say secure compose, right? If I can, yep. So here you can say add recipient. So if you have any recipient who can, I have one of the email which actually have this Flowcrypt enabled. So I'm going to send an email to them. And I'm going to say the child one. So you can see recipient key, public fingerprint. It already fetched from the server, and it know that it has a secure access enabled. And now the demo account. Demo. So it didn't find it under recipient. It's trying to see if it is it can find its public key, but since we have not generated a public key and uploaded it to server, that's why it's gray. That means it is not a secure access. And can you read this? So this is the test message I'm sending. This is a subject line. So of one message I'm going to send, decode it if you know the secret. And emails in gray don't use encryption. So this account doesn't have encryption. Green does have encryption. So it can receive the coded message and decrypt it. This guy doesn't need no encryption. So what you can do, add their public key or ask them to use Flowcrypt, obviously. Or if you don't have that influence, that what you can do, you can send an email as a password protected. And so I'm going to send a password, simple password. Okay. So that user, even without encryption, he can use this password to decrypt the message. Okay. So let's send this. And what else you can do here? You can see you have encrypt message and sign message. So either you can choose to do encrypt or sign, or you want to do encrypt, sign, and send both together. I want you to look at this part also. Okay. you can remove or send your public key. Choose to, so here you can, if you hover over it, I don't know if you can see all of it, it says public key will be included with this message. You can choose to, it's optional. Yeah, so I want to send my public key, and let's say encrypt and sign. It is encrypting, sign, and send. All right, let's go to demo account. Save, yes, and see if I get the message, right? Can you read this? Subjects are not encrypted, only the body is encrypted. So it's, again, it's not 100% sure, right? You can make a guess with subject if it is confidential, what is inside. So that is obviously something not foolproof. But let's go and see what I got. So this message is encrypted, open message, or you can go to this link and open it. So I'm going to say open message. It asking me to the secret. Obviously this user doesn't use encryption, so I need to put the secret key, and I have to communicate the secret key to him by some mean. Decode it if you know the secret. You can see here got the message, and you can send encrypted reply also. So you can encourage them to use encryption. Quickly, let's go to another account which is actually enabled for encryption. There are a lot of personal information. You can see here. Okay, save, open message, message password. That's weird because, okay, so even this guy has not set up his Flowcrypt properly. That's why I'm getting asked, but it does have the key. So key was available. That's why my sender thought we can send encrypted message and it can able to decrypt it. But here the Flowcrypt is not properly set. That's why it cannot do that. All right, so what I can do, I can either set up a Flowcrypt for this account also, and let me do that. I know this is like lengthening the video, but I want you to see the full concept. Let's okay, it's all set. Can you read this? Open message. See, even without any key, I can read the message securely. So I hope this solves some of your problem. Again, for beginner, you need not to use GPG and you can totally rely on Flowcrypt. But if you want to expert, you want to learn more about security, you should have a separate keychain solution for you so that you can use it for other purposes. So I hope it sends to you and you'll start using encryption at least to send some important information securely. Thank you.